Hey, welcome back to another Mind the Mic podcast. I'm your host Shubz, here with a very special guest in the building, and it's not Sunny POC. My bad, sis. Fuck, now trying to run between these episodes. My bad. It's not Sunny POC. I got one here. I got one here for you. Don't worry. Nah. Where you at? There you go. There we go.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. But you must introduce yourself, sis. Introduce yourself. Who are you?
All right. Well, my name's Jen. I am a medium. I'm also a business mentor. So I spend a lot of my time helping other healers and coaches step into being six-figure business owners. And my goal, my big goal in life right now is to help as many healers and coaches really step into that energy of like owning that it's okay to be a healer and to also be wealthy and to also unlock time freedom and stuff like that. So that's where my focus is right now, really helping other healers step up and help more people, but also unlocking that time freedom for themselves. So that's a big focus in my business right now.
Oh, yeah, cool. So take us back to a young Jen. Thank you for that introduction that I should have had, but yeah, fuck me. Nah,
It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Take us back to a young Jen. What was it? Where you from originally? Yeah, all that
Oh,
stuff. All of
okay.
life.
Well, my dad's family's from Huntley. My
Oh,
mum's family's from Hamilton. Little Jen grew up in Huntley for
true.
the first. Gosh, I mean, like, am I going to break the timeline down?
Yeah,
um,
you go ahead. You got time?
so I grew up. I spent most of my smaller childhood in Huntley, but I always say I'm from Hamilton because that's where
Ah,
I
yeah.
spent like my teen years and a big majority of like my childhood. So
I used to go to
yeah.
school in Huntley for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Rākaimanga. Yeah, went there for a bit. I used to go
Oh
there.
yeah. Chair.
Lived in Ngaruahia for a bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Shout out to
Cool.
him. So, what was life like growing up in Huntley? And then I guess we go to Hamilton.
Yeah.
Or do you
So
remember much of Huntley?
I was very young. So I grew up in quite a lot of violence. So I was very little. So I am the oldest. I have a younger sister, but life was actually, when you're growing up and you're surrounded by a lot of violence and all that stuff's going on around you, but you're a little kid. And it's almost
Hmm.
like you're playing Peter Pan and you're kind of like, in your own world and
Yep.
sort of growing up like that where you kind of create all your own imaginary friends and things like that going on. So um, we ended up leaving Huntley because my dad actually went to jail for a stint in Huntley, so we actually had to leave, and we ended up
Hmm.
moving to the Coromandel. And then my parents ended up splitting up when I was around 10 years old, and that's where we ended up moving all over Hamilton and things like that. So life for me when I was little pretty much consisted of a lot of moving, and yeah, it was a lot of upheaval. There wasn't really any consistency, but I was quite sad
Can
to leave
relate to that, sis.
Huntley.
Yeah.
Huh?
I can relate to that 100. I fucking moved a lot
Yeah.
when I was a kid too. You don't get to, it sucks that you don't really, like, I don't know, you see a lot of people that have like the same friends or since they're 5 years old, bro. Like, I can't relate to that.
Yeah, nah, I can't relate to that, and I think that was a big thing for me growing up. Like, I used to watch, like, movies and see how
Yeah,
they have all these friends and stuff, and I used to get really sad, and I always
for
thought that
sure.
was just on the movies that people didn't really have friends like that in, real life because I changed schools, like, so many times that I actually ended up, getting held back in school. So because I just missed so much, I actually didn't start school till I was like almost 7, just because my
Hmm.
parents moved around so much. And I suppose you could get away with
Shit,
it back
7.
then. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know
But
if
I
you
was
can get
like
away
a
with it these days, eh?
yeah, well, I was like a 7-year-old with like in a 5-year-old class. Like I was a lot older than than my classmates, and it was just because I wasn't ready to move up. So yeah.
Yeah, solid. What's your family background?
Yeah, so my mum is Maori and
Okay.
my dad is Pakeha or Caucasian. And my whole so sorry, I didn't grow up with my mum's side of the family. So
Okay.
me and my sister, we really didn't get to know my family and all my cousins. And I actually have a really big family. Like my mum's family is like half of Hamilton. It's massive, right? That's their hometown. But I didn't get to grow up with them. I'm not close with them. And it's just because there was that big separation when I
Yeah.
was younger. But I do know that I'm Ngāpui. I believe you say it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Ngāpui. So I know
Yeah.
that. So I do know my mum always told me I have a very big family. And I always get told that people can tell I'm Ngāpui. I don't really know what that means. I don't know if everyone from Ngāpui is loud or what it is, but whenever I say that, they're like, yeah, you are. I'm like, oh, okay. So a lot of my mum's family is also from, I believe, Kaitaia. So we've got a lot of land up there as well. So yeah, my mum's got a massive family. Unfortunately, yeah, I didn't get to grow up with them. I was very close with my dad's side of the family, which was a lot smaller. So growing up around them in Huntley, and then sort of like we moved away from them. So because my dad was quite a very violent man, he sort of separated my mum and me and my sister away from, basically any family members. So we kind of didn't ever really have that closeness. So me and my sister are very close, even till this day. Like we're very, very, very tight, and I'm very lucky to have her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get that bond with my mum's family. And I suppose over time, when you don't have that connection with your cousins or your aunties or your uncles, it starts to fade to the point where you don't really feel connected, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have you ever reconnected at all as you've gotten older, or no, not at all?
I think for me, it's been very hard to. So I do reach out to them. I'm friends with some of my mum's family on Facebook. Unfortunately, my family is very much drenched in a lot of there's a lot of generational trauma, specifically like around my mum and stuff. So I do reach out. I actually had my cousin's son come through one day
Oh
in
yeah.
spirit. So I reached out to her just to let her know. Well, actually, what happened was my auntie came through first in spirit, and then my cousin's son. And I asked my mum, I said, Mum, why has this auntie come through with my cousin? And she goes, oh, really? And I go, yeah. She goes, so you don't actually know, but that's your cousin's real mum. So growing up with my cousin, I thought her mum was someone else. I didn't
Mm.
realize that my auntie was actually her mum, and that's why she was coming through. And I actually found out she was getting a moko kowai on the day that her mum and her son came through. So when I reached out to her, I just told her, and she said, actually, I was just thinking of them as you messaged. So I reach out to them with stuff like that, and it's very intimidating for me. Again, I don't know much about my family or our history and things like that, but I do. Yeah, I have my ancestors in spirit telling me to sort my shit out,
Mm.
and reach out to them and stuff like that. But things take time.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. What? So Hamilton until when? Like, how long are you in Hamilton? Because you're obviously not in Hamilton anymore.
No, I'm not. So I lived in Hamilton I was around, oh, it's gonna get juicy. All right. So
Is it juicy?
I lived in
Okay, no.
Hamilton I was around about 17, 18 years old. for a lot of my time between the ages of 14 to 17, I kind of was in and out of homes. I was homeless for a stint, doing a lot of, stuff that you need to do when you're on the street. And I actually ended up getting married when I was quite young, to a man that was around 8 or 9 years older than me.
Oh, snap.
And he ended up getting deported back to India. And
Ooh, bara chicken on the menu, eh?
I ended up going to India for a year. So from Hamilton, I moved to India for just over a year. And
Oh,
then,
true.
so I ended up going over there when I was quite young. And I used to be able to speak fluent Hindi. I can't
Yeah,
anymore.
give us a
It's
couple
been
words. Got
a
us a
long
couple
time.
words. How do we just say hello or something, or do you got a cool
So
phrase
hello's
you can
like
think of?
hi over there. They don't
Oh,
they say namaste, but like that's mostly
namaste. Yeah.
English is very common over in India. They actually
Whereabouts
speak
were you?
English quite well. So I lived in a town called Chandigarh, which is sort of
Chandigarh.
mid-north of India. It's in the more northern part, so it's
What's
quite
the
cold in
state or
winter.
province? What province is
Um,
that in? Is that what it's called? Chandigarh or no?
Panchkula. No,
Oh,
sorry.
Panchkula.
No. Panchkula was the sort of the suburb inside Chandigarh. So Chandigarh was in Punjab, I believe it's called, like up in that
Oh, yeah,
area.
the Punjab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kabaddi.
So they were all originally from Himachal. So I got to travel up to Himachal a lot. We actually traveled quite a lot all around like India, which was like quite fun. But I was very young and I was a very lost young woman. So there was actually quite a lot of like abuse and drama and all of these things going on while I was over there. And I ended up needing to get away. So my visa was coming to an end and I told them that I was going to go to the Gold Coast where my mum was living to visit her and that I would come back. And I got on the plane and I never returned. I stayed with my mum.
Yep.
And I'd like to say that that was the end of that, but it was not. We ended up moving back to Hamilton, and he came back. He came back to New Zealand, and
Yep.
then we moved to Auckland. And that's when I think I had gotten a little bit older by then, and I sort of stood up for myself and ended up ending the relationship. But it was I was very, very young, and very, very lost. And it took a while for me to break out of that and start finding myself. But after Auckland, I ended up meeting my now husband when I was
Yep.
about 19, 20. And then we had a little girl
So
and
you
we
went to
moved.
India when you were 17 or 18?
Yes, I was very, very young. So my mum actually had
He's a
to
dirty bugger.
sign.
No, joking.
Yeah, my mum actually had to sign a document to actually say that I was allowed to get married
How
because I
did
was
you meet this
underage.
dude?
So I used to be, and I don't know how, if this podcast is like got an age limit, but from the age of
Fuck no.
14,
We
I
talk
used to
about incest
be,
shit.
from the age of about 14, I became a sex worker. So I used
Oh,
to,
true.
so I
Fuck.
used to do that probably up until the age of 17, and that's how I met that man. I was pretty
What kind of
lost.
ones was it? Like in were you on the street, like on like just the street styles, or how did that
Yeah,
work?
I was very young, so I kind of got shipped around by the ringleader quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was one of the youngest at the time, and we used to work out of like motels and things like that. So it was, through all that, that's sort of how I met him.
Yeah. Fuck.
And
The ringleader guy, like, does he know your age? Yeah, surely.
I
Yeah.
was actually a female. And yes,
Small
she
lady.
very much did know my age.
Fuck, that's scumbaggy, man. Yeah. Anyway,
It is
carry
a
on.
cycle. It is a cycle. It's a very vicious cycle, and it definitely does prey on the, I suppose, women or young girls that have been brought up and gone through what I've been through. I kind of didn't have anywhere to go. Well, that's what I thought at the time, being so young. But when you look back on, I suppose, your life, and you look back on all the things that you've been through and the choices you've made, when you're wiser and older, you can always see, I could have done this and I could have done that. And it took me a really long time to learn to stop calling that version of myself, like a dirty bitch or things like that,
Oh
because
nah, I wasn't talking about. I was talking about that lady scumbag. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
no,
Like
but it's
you're
just
a kid,
looking back
man.
at the younger version of myself and, just showing
Struggled
compassion
with
for
that.
what she'd been through. But yeah, the
Yeah,
the
hard.
older woman, she would have been around, she was a good 10 years older than me. She must have been in her mid-20s. So
Hey, someone go fucking cut her leg off. Oh, holy fuck, idiot.
there was obviously
You know,
someone up
so
the
good.
chain that was also controlling her. So it's a
Yeah,
very
of course.
vicious cycle. Yeah.
All of them. Fuck them. Yeah. But anyway. But you're right, obviously. And yeah, like I said, my words before went towards you was just towards, because I'm like I grew up, I was abused a lot as a child, like a
Mhm.
lot of our family were, which is not good, but and like yourself, violence and all that stuff was prevalent. Yeah, so I just, I want to be the antithesis of what we grew up with. You know what I mean? Try to, yeah, like I think it also can give you an awareness that you probably don't have if unless you experience that kind of stuff. Like not that I was a sex worker, but
Mhm.
just when you're abused and stuff like that. So like when you have children, you're like real aware of like who's around them, like what's going
Mhm.
on. We are even just kids in general. Like when I see like if there's kids at like a party or something and he's drinking around, always like sort of keep an eye on the kids, make sure they're like either all sleeping in the lounge or with all together and like who's around there. I don't know. I just can't shake that. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. I never judge you.
Yeah, of
You're a
course. No, I
child, man. Or
understand.
even if you chose to be one now, I still wouldn't judge her. Like I've got friends that are, and it's each to their own. But like that are happily, according to them anyway. You know what I mean? They, But for me, just the scumbags. And you're right. Obviously, she was probably controlled as well, but still, yuck. But anyway, carry on. Not you, yuck.
No, yeah, no,
That
I
bullshit.
understand, and I get there's, like, women that do it. I think it's just very different. I suppose it's a very different environment that I'm talking, about, because basically it's like sex trafficking. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
100. It's
So it's
crazy. It's
very
crazy we had
different
you
from
because we had child sex trafficker lady on yesterday that funds
Mhm,
a lot of raids. Like she funded raids in Philippines and all around Asia and works with
mhm,
a lot of close with a lot of organizations that go and do rescues and stuff like that from
yeah,
try and like end a lot of that stuff. So yeah,
yeah.
carry on as you were. Sorry.
No, that's okay. No, so, that's just what I went through, and it's just obviously, going through a lot of abuse,
Yep.
um when you're growing up, and I know that a lot of people can relate to it. I think now as an older woman, I do believe that I went through everything that I went through to be, to teach on, to talk on, to have the power and the confidence to speak on things without flinching, things that a lot of the time
Mm.
when I'm speaking and talking about my stories, a lot of people are messaging me and saying, wow, I would have never thought you went through that. I also went through that. It's about helping other women realize that they're not all men as well, just understanding that you don't need to be ashamed of your past. You don't need to
Mm-hmm.
hide. I feel that what I've been able to overcome in my life has helped me to be able to teach and talk on the things that I talk on with power and conviction to help others that are moving through similar journeys at the moment or trying to heal from theirs, I think, as well.
Yeah. Hard. Well,
Mhm.
you're using it, you're using what happened to you as in a way, not that it is, shouldn't have happened, but as a gift to, push, other people, to help other people, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's cool. Um, so obviously you said you met your other partner now, husband. Are you married again, or
Yes, I remarried. We've been married for a few years now. So we
I
met.
wouldn't even count that other one as a marriage out. That's not even a marriage because it's just fucking a little kid out.
Nah,
You know.
nah. It was whatever it needed to be for me to learn. I actually ended up because he used to beat me quite a lot, and there was one night, it was like in the middle
Oh,
of the
the
night,
Indian
and we
dude.
were in India, and he would.
Fucking no, tell him come over here. We'll beat him. Fucking tiki.
Well,
Anyway.
he was beating on me one night, and I just had had enough. I had enough, and I see, the thing is that I'm actually an ex-professional fighter as well. I fought my whole life, but it's funny how no matter what you learn, like that emotional mind fuck that comes with being in abuse. So I thought if I didn't hit him,
Yeah. Being the
I would
victim.
somehow try and change the cycle. So he was beating on me one night, and it was in India, and I just had enough. So I threw him on the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and I jumped up on the bed and I rugby kicked him in the face. And I freaked out because his nose busted. And so I climbed the compound wall. I was young, man. I was like nearly 18. I climbed the compound wall and I ran away at like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning in Chandigarh. I'm like running down the street. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. This bloody half-caste married chick I know of running down fucking Chandigarh in
In
the middle of the
India.
night. I'm like,
In the
no,
Chandigarh.
I'm like, what am I doing with my
Chandigarh.
life right now? And that's where it's like it started to really crumble. And I ended up, finding my mum and going to stay with her in the Gold Coast. But the thing is, a lot of the women that I mentor, they have been through similar stuff. And one thing that I can tell you is, you said before that you become quite aware, and that is a very true. I've noticed a lot of people that have been through similar stories, because when you're young you have to walk on eggshells, especially when you have a very mum's always crying and dad's beating on her, and you might get a hiding too. You actually learn without even knowing how to read energy, because you have to feel the energy of your parents. Like, is he angry, is he not angry, like, is mum, you're like really trying
What
to
is it about that
read.
energy reading? We energy
Yeah,
readers out here.
that's right. And
What's up
that's
with
why a
that?
lot of people that come from violence and abuse, they're so attuned to feeling people's vibrations, because they've been doing it for such a long time. But because they need to go through and heal I suppose, not let go of your past because it's your past, but to release the energy, the anger, or the resentment that you hold within you, you don't actually realize you're so intuitive already. So these women tap in very fast
Hey, I
to
like that.
energy.
Fucking energy readers out here. Fucking make me sound flash, cuss. Anyway,
Yeah, well,
let's
that's
see.
why we go through a lot of the stuff that we go through, and we become the people we become. That's why we can feel energy. That's why we have empathy, because we do know what it's like. We've walked that path before.
All right. It's pretty good. Yeah. Like you said, you did say you're a fighter. What's the good thing? Tell us a little bit about that then. Let's open up that
Yeah,
door.
so my dad is a 7th Dan black belt. So I started doing
And what,
Taekwondo
in
by
Taekwondo?
the
Oh,
age
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
3.
yeah. Taekwondo. Yeah.
Yeah, so I started doing Taekwondo at the age of 3. By the time I was 5, I was fighting. And I fought all the way up till I ended up leaving home at around the age of 14. I went back and forward doing like fights up to about 16, and then I ended up quitting for
Still
a
in
few years.
Taekwondo?
So I have now competed in jiu-jitsu,
Oh, yeah.
wrestling. I've competed in kickboxing. I won the state champs. That was my last fight. I actually turned up
Hey,
with no
one thing we
fighter.
gotta admit, like, because I did a lot of Taekwondo as a kid too, but like we gotta admit, Taekwondo has no hands. It's so trash. Like when it comes to hands, so I think like when it comes to real life shit, like yeah, you get like good legs dexterity in there, but like out here with Taekwondo, he's got to learn how to punch, cuz properly. No, and
So
how to like
Taekwondo is
actually
a
use it in
sport.
real life. Yeah,
Taekwondo
exactly. It's a
is
sport.
a sport. It's not a to me, it's yes. I mean, like I bet a K1 girl as a Taekwondo fighter. So I don't know. It comes down to
Yeah, but
to you as
you
a
had a
fighter.
life too. You had a
Yeah,
life
that
too.
is
Like
true.
in, you know what I
My
mean.
last
You
fight
had a
was
dad
actually
beating your
against
ass, and
a girl that yeah, she was a K1 fighter, and I turned up to the Waikato champs, and I didn't have a fight, so they asked her, "Do you want to fight this girl? She's got a Taekwondo background," and she thought, "Yeah, I'll fight her," and I won. She didn't fight a K1 fight
how
that
did you beat her?
day.
How did you beat her in that fight?
I was better. I got my reach. So I think so when I talk about me coming from Taekwondo, there's different types of styles. So I come
Yep.
from freestyle Taekwondo. That's my foundation. That was my dad's federation. So
Yep.
you have Olympic style Taekwondo that is very much feet, and then like they can
All
punch to
feet.
the chest. But I did more of probably what you would consider to be a mix of like kickboxing, taekwondo, and karate. So I used to fight in karate too when I was younger as well.
Yep.
So it just depends on what type
Karate.
of taekwondo.
Yeah, but then you also, like you've said, you had other mixes, like you had mixes of other things as well, like freestyle, of course. But then having
Yeah,
karate, but then
yeah,
also having to fight your dad, probably not fight, but you know what I mean, taking on all that shit. You understand? Sometimes I think two people, because some people that come from fighting backgrounds, maybe just doing it as kids are put into it as a child, like just from parents to something for their kid to do by the time they get a bit, you know what I mean? Like as you grow up, but then life also gives you experiences. Like you're doing some bad man things when you were young too. So you know what I mean? You gotta
yeah. No,
consider
yeah.
all of that as well.
Yeah, so I didn't really get a choice to do or not do taekwondo. My dad being an instructor, it kind of
Yeah,
was you had to do it. You had to, and because I was a good
up the
fighter,
sex.
he would really push it on me. So I didn't grow up
Mm.
actually enjoying fighting or doing taekwondo. It's just what I knew. I was good at it. So once I had the opportunity to leave, I left, but I ended up going back full on at the age of around 27 ish, and I fought solid for like 4 years, 5 years, and then I ended up giving up. But I actually went in, not doing taekwondo. I actually went into the MMA class.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Um, so that was really dope, and I really enjoyed it because a lot of the whole team was from New Zealand.
Oh cool. Oh
um,
what? Where are you at this stage?
so I'm in Melbourne, and I was fighting out of a club here. Shout out to Marshall Fitness in Point Cook. And so I was part of the MMA team there. Unfortunately, I never got to fight MMA, and that's probably like my only regret. I really did
Oh
want
yeah,
to
you
jump
wanted
in the
to.
cage. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really wanted to jump in the cage, and I never got around to it. I ended up doing a lot of taekwondo. So yeah, that was probably my only regret from fighting.
Yeah, hard. Oh, well. Shout out to that. So you spoke about you and your Indian fella. You went to Auckland, and then what? You broke up with him, and then you meet your other husband, your new husband, or now?
Yeah, so I left my first husband. It was hard. My sister ended up coming up and, helping me. I was still very young. And then around 6 months later, I actually met my now husband, who is the sweetest man I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. What's the bro's name? Can we shout the bro's name out or nah?
yeah, Sam.
Shout out the bro Sam. Up the bro Sam. Shout out to our brother.
Yeah, so we've been together for a very long time. We've had our ups and downs, but he's a very, very, very beautiful man, and he comes from a different upbringing. He comes from a very stable home. And so I suppose he taught me what it meant to be like. He showed me that I had a feminine side, and he showed me that I didn't need to push people away and be so chaotic all the time. And it took a long time for us to mold together because I was always causing chaos. Like, I wasn't an easy person to be
Oh,
with, always trying to
hey.
leave, always trying to start shit. And for whatever reason, he just kept showing me love. And even till this day, he's never sworn at me, never raised his voice at me, opens my car door still, buys me
Oh,
flowers.
brother
Like,
Sam, hey, taking it back to the
yeah,
60s. Let's go,
yeah,
Sam. I like it, brother.
he's a very, very good man. And he hasn't changed. He's still the sweet, soft person that I met years ago. So yes, maybe that, I don't know. I don't know.
Hey.
It's just crazy. It's crazy how life can just change.
Yeah, nah, well, shout out to the bro Sam. And if the bro Sam has any brothers or cousins, I know a few aunties out there that might be keen for a bit of a Sam.
I get asked that a lot. Unfortunately, he
Yeah.
doesn't have any brothers, but I
Oh,
have been asked
Richard,
a lot.
Sam.
Yeah.
Maybe Sam needs to talk to some of us brothers out there, teach us the ways, eh?
Oh gosh. No, he is. He's a very soft, 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 soft soul. So he's being very patient with me
Mm.
through all my purging. But he's been through his own stuff. So Sam lost his mum when he was quite young.
Yep.
So I think it's just interesting to, when you come together with someone who's just been through, I don't know, a different type of pain. But yeah, it was very, very deep, very, very, very deep. Very deep connection.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, shout out to the brother Sam anyway. So yeah, this whole mediums. Oh, actually, let's before we said that, where are you now? Are you in Australia now? Eh?
Yeah, so we moved to Australia after we had our first little girl.
Yep.
So we were both working at Sky City at the time, and
Ooh, at the casino.
I, huh?
At the casino.
No, 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 no. I was a reception at the hotel.
Oh, hotel. Ah.
Yeah, I worked as a receptionist, and he
Oh.
was a concierge. That's how we met. Um, I ended up falling pregnant with our first little girl, and I just said to him, "We're not going to be able to live the life that we are living now on the wages that we're on if we stay here." And because of the, I mean, gosh, this is going back to like 2011, but he was on like under 40K a year as a concierge.
Oh.
There was no way that we were going to be able to live, especially when I was, to go away and have Bubba. So after she was born a year later, no, sorry, we moved when she was 3 months old. Yeah, we left after she was born. We took off, and it's been good here. It's been really, really good. Life's,
Yeah.
yeah, it is a lot more. The income is higher. I don't know what it would have been like if we had stayed. Like, we were living right in the center of Auckland, and we were looking at it and we were like, "Fuck, we're gonna have to move out to like, is it like Flatbush or
Ooh,
something?" I
sure.
can't remember the names now, but far away, which
Far
wasn't gonna
away.
work.
Yeah. Oh well. Shout out to you. He's got the moving and obviously better opportunities. Now I'm with you. Like I live in Perth. I've been in Perth for a long time. I've been in Aussie for since I was a teenager too. But there's so much opportunity here, which sucks, because I always love home. But yeah,
Mm.
fucking unless you got them I don't know, some of them big tickets, or you got a university ticket or something, or you're cracking it in some way. Like I don't know, the only people I knew that was rich when I was growing up back home, they were drug dealers, man. So the only ones that I knew, all
Yeah,
my cousins, all my uncles, man. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
well, obviously there's other people you can still crack it, but like, yeah, like opportunity wise, there's a lot more here for sure, for sure.
Well, we're actually moving
Yeah.
to Perth next year.
Oh, true. Oh, well,
Yeah.
come over for Kaisers. That's us, see.
Yeah, yeah. We actually
Yeah,
came
Brother
over.
Sam. I'll get some tips
Yeah.
off Brother Sam, eh? I get some tips for the
Um,
brothers, see?
we went on a holiday to Perth last year in October, and we just fell in love with the place.
Kick back,
Um,
eh? Relax over here.
yeah. So
Big city,
we're
but don't
looking
feel like a
for.
big city.
Nah, I feel like for us coming from Melbourne, Perth feels it's still got the city, but it's slower. And the beach,
Way
man,
slower.
like,
Yeah,
huh?
Sabine beaches, way slower.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Like Perth is like obviously there's like it's not the biggest, but there's 2 million plus people here meant to be in Perth, but I don't feel like it at all. You know
Mm.
what I mean? It's so kickback. Fucking heaps of Maoris here too. Heaps of cousins. Heaps of our island brothers over here too. Heaps of Kiwis. South Africans,
Yeah,
like heaps.
yeah.
Just all because obviously mining is mining capital of Australia, the state. So yeah, there's heaps of that. But and my family's been here for a long time. My dad moved here when I was 5. You know what I mean? Like, and I've
Oh,
been
wow.
coming here since then, since I was little. So got a lot of family here. But yeah, well, hit us up whenever you come over. Sis, see?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah, right. Might even give me a reading. Nah, no, maybe. Yeah, no,
What,
no,
I love reading?
yeah. Nah, 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 nah. I'm all good. I'll make that shit happen myself. Nah, 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 nah. I'll do that. I'll keep that shit going myself. But yeah. Well, whenever you do come to Perth, but on that the medium, tell us about that. How does that all happen?
Yeah, sure. So I suppose I kind of fell into this. This is not something I like set out to do. I didn't want to become a medium. I wasn't even really that spiritual, if you want to use the word.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a graphic designer, and I did like tarot cards. I mean, I wasn't that spiritual, but my mum was into tarot cards, and I was designing a tarot card deck, just for fun. And I decided to start a TikTok account somewhere where I could just like share like my artwork if I decided I wanted to, sell it. And I
Oh
started
yeah,
TikTok, and I was like so new. I didn't even know how to use TikTok, but I got like 1,000 followers, and then I thought, oh, I'll go live.
yeah.
And I went live, and I had like a tarot card deck with me, and I didn't even know how to read the cards. And I just started like asking people, "Do you want a card?" And I'd pull the card. I didn't have no idea what it meant, and
Mm-hmm.
then I would just read whatever the guidebook said, and it kind of just went from there. Where I went from this was fun to people like messaging me and saying, "Oh man, like I love your stories, and like, do you offer one-on-ones?" I'd like, and it kind of just grew from there to the point where all of a sudden I'm like, "Am I doing this? Is this what I'm doing now? Like, how did I get here?" And my following just kept growing, and then I started noticing that I was bringing through information that was actually from spirit. So what I mean by that is when I was connecting with people's energy, I would read the energy or connect with their guides. But then I noticed I started connecting with what seemed to be personalities.
Mm.
And I was getting things like names and numbers and dates, and my body started hurting in different places, which represented passings and things like that. And people were saying, "Oh, I think that's my grandma," and I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, the 17th of May or the 21st. That was my grandma's passing." And so I got really scared because that shit's scary when you don't know much about it. Um, and when I finally found the confidence, which took a while, I thought, fuck it. And I went and got a mentor, and she helped me really step into it. And now I do it with ease. It's something that I do a lot, and I tend to get very similar people come through for some reason. So I tend to get a lot of people that have taken their life. Seems to be, I don't know why.
Oh, fuck, I know.
Um, so I can normally pick up that passing quite fast, and it could be because I have a cousin in spirit. I'm not too sure that took his that passed away that way. But you can bring through someone's street address. Like you can get very specific. You can get very specific information from spirit. So
Holy Rickers, got a lot of numbers or what?
yeah, I get asked that all the time. And my answer always to that is if you are someone that tends to buy lotto tickets a lot, it's actually an indication of sitting in lack.
Oh no, I didn't even buy them, but I just thought I didn't even buy a lot of tickets at all. I just thought, yeah, if you got the numbers, maybe then I'll give it a shot. No.
So I do what's called evidential mediumship, which just basically means that when I'm connecting with spirit, I will normally try and bring through like information that's going to provide evidence that I am speaking to your person. So I have 5 pillars that I work off, which is I will always say the gender first, the connection, the passing, something they're known for, and then a message. That's how I like to do it, but I kind of let spirit take control. So they know that's what I want, but they're going to give it to me the way they want. And passings will always come through like very differently. So for example, if we're talking about someone who's taken their life, it can come through many different ways for me. Sometimes my throat tightens, or sometimes I see a noose, or sometimes they will just say hanging, or they will sort of show me maybe how they did it, like what they used, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's a car, sometimes they crash their car on purpose, sometimes they drank too, they passed out. So there's many different ways, but it comes through very differently. And you kind of just feel their energy and describe them. And yeah, for me, it's become very like everyday type of thing. So yeah.
Me, there you go. Got us anybody come through for the berry Shubz or nah?
Let me have a look.
Let's have a game.
Let me have a look. Let me have a look. So
How do you do this? While you just step in here or something? Oh, nah?
so I can feel them. I can
Okay.
so if you can imagine someone sitting beside you, right? You know that feeling of sitting beside someone on the couch,
Yeah,
right?
and
And
you
you
can feel
kind of
the air,
feel them
like
there.
you know they're there. Yeah.
That's how I feel it. So men come in from here, and a woman come on from my left-hand side. So that's how
Oh
I'll
fuck!
know
I thought you
straight
were
away.
gonna go fucking down here, down there. No, sorry. Anyway, carry on.
So men come through
Fucking.
here. Um, Men come through here. So I actually have been, since I've been sitting here, I do feel a male that's been coming through, or staying with me for quite some time. And I'm also feeling like there's something around the head as well. So normally when I get a male coming through and there's energy around the head, it normally means that there was something with their mind. Also, there's something coming through around the connection of August as well. So there must be a birthday passing or like an anniversary in August. But they're coming through, they bring a lot of like energy around my head area. So that normally means like mind. They could have like, started to lose their senses. Or it can also mean like something with their actual brain as well. So that's who I currently have coming through. But interestingly enough, for some reason they're not feeling older. So I don't know if you've got someone in spirit coming through with some mind stuff, but that's how it feels to me. And they seem to be talking about the month of August. So when they bring through months, there's normally something significant about that month. So either they passed or there's someone that they're trying to talk to or reference in the month of August.
Jesus. Have to have a suss that out, eh?
Mm-hmm. It feels that they don't feel old though. They don't feel older. So this could be, unless you've got no, this is not a grandfather. I'm not picking up. I've got a lot of head stuff here. This could have been someone that had like mental health and stuff like that.
Oh, fucking heaps of
So
those. Yeah.
yeah,
Heaps of
this is
those.
like a younger uncle or something like that passed in spirit.
Oh, younger uncle. Fuck yeah, I guess so. Quite a few. Yeah, got a
Yeah.
few. Yeah.
So
I've got a few uncles,
yeah,
cousins.
yeah. So to me, this person actually feels like an uncle, and there's a
Oh.
lot of head energy with this person. A lot. Um,
Like they had an aneurysm?
I can get them to come closer, but there's a lot of energy up here. A lot of energy. I actually feel as well that this person wasn't well. I feel like they actually had so the head stuff is here, but I'm also getting they could have had diabetes. I actually feel like this person
Oh,
smoked a lot as
diabetes.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
diabetes.
so there's something around diabetes, there's something around smoking with this person. I'm getting a lot of energy in my head. I feel like they were either an uncle or someone that
Are you sure it's not a grandfather? Like, cause actually, let me just tell you. So my grandfather, right? They wasn't my he wasn't my blood quarrel, but he died early, but like sort of early, like for you know what I mean. He's probably like he's like Maru. I looked up to him hard, like a fucking like a lot of my paradigm today was shaped by a lot of his wisdom that he imparted on me as a kid. But he died young, like
yeah.
cancer, but he also had diabetes, yeah, for sure. And yeah, he's like, yeah, I looked up to, but like I said, he wasn't my actual kuro, like he like blood wise. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
my mum's
what's in the
stepdad,
month of
yeah.
August?
I don't fucking know, me August.
So there's a
I don't
birthday
even know
passing or an
months.
anniversary in the month of August.
I don't know. Maybe that's when they found out about it. If that's the berry, maybe that's when they found out about like his cancer. I can't remember what the dates were, the months were when all that shit happened. Never used to pay
Yeah,
attention, to
okay,
be
so it's
honest.
coming through. Um, if he is a grandfather, he would have had to have passed younger because he's not giving
Yeah,
me older,
yeah.
wiser.
Yeah.
I
No, no,
can't
no.
explain
I'm
it.
talking
Yeah.
like the bro was only just hit his 50s, which is like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Not that old. Yeah, it's not that old.
Okay.
Grandpa, like, yeah. And I was like 16, but a lot of
Oh,
my
wow,
shit I got from
okay.
him. If that's the berry,
You call him the bro, that's so funny. So it's like a
oh, it's
grandfather.
Makuro. No, I call
Yeah.
everyone the berry, but it's Makuro, yeah.
Yeah,
I call my
okay.
fucking kids the berry sometimes.
But there's a lot of heavy energy around his head, though. That's where it seems to
Mm.
be. There's
What
a
does that
lot of
mean?
heavy energy around his head. Um,
Are you drawing us?
so I'm scribbling, so I'll show you what I do.
Oh,
So
so what the fuck?
I
I'm
I
gonna need some
I
pins
scribble
going.
because
Oh, true.
it helps me put my brain or my muggle mind into my drawings.
Oh,
So
Muggle.
there's
The
yeah, I
Muggle.
call it muggle mind. Basically,
This is
what
Harry Potter.
happens is if you sit in your head, then you can't hear spirit because you're not sitting in your body. So um this person, so yeah, he's been passed for a very, very long time. And did he used to smoke quite
He
heavily?
used to smoke. He used to smoke, but not when I was alive. He quit when I was born. He quit when I was
Yeah.
born.
Did
He
he also
smoked
have
everything.
issues with his
Killed everything.
heart?
Oh, I don't know, but he did have diabetes.
Yeah.
He did have diabetes, yeah. But like I said, he wasn't
Quite
my blood grandfather. He was my
yeah,
but
because
he
I
pulled me up.
also feel for some reason that he's showing me something wrong with his calves or his shins, and I feel like that had something to do
Oh,
with
you
his
know that he had a
weight.
short leg. Yeah. He had a short leg because he had a bike accident. So he had like one of his legs was shorter than the other. He had a bike accident when I was a kid.
Did he
And then
I'm
so the bro
seeing
used to have like a
something
extra
about,
heel. He's have this like thicker heel in his shoes because his one leg was a bit shorter
okay.
than the other because of his accident when he was a kid. Yeah, and
Okay,
then
okay. I
maybe
feel like he
yeah,
had,
that's
the reason why I thought it could be diabetes is because he's showing me his calves and his shins,
mm,
which is I can't explain, but a lot of people that have diabetes, they always show me their calves and their shins, and that's an indication that they had diabetes. He's also talking to me about losing a lot of weight as well.
yeah hard when
Um,
he lost heaps when he got cancer and that very fucking got
mm,
skinny as and he was a
mhm,
beast too. Yeah,
mhm, mhm.
100.
Yeah, so he keeps speaking about someone either is a Leo or there's something about Leo season because he keeps speaking about August and that's coming up. So that's coming through.
Oh,
So
I don't
that's
know.
who I have here for
Oh,
you.
trippy,
Um,
trippy is
yeah.
this? Yeah, that sounds like the bro.
um, and I'll just give you one thing that I'm hearing because
Oh,
why not? Is So I'm hearing that you are doing an amazing job. I'm hearing a lot of laughing, a lot of laughing. Um, I don't know if you understand this, but I'm hearing that it's okay for you to change your mind. Like it's okay for you to either like pivot or change your mind. Like don't feel that you need to stick with things. Don't feel that you need to hold on to things, whether this is your job or anything in life. Like if you feel the need to move, if you feel the need to pivot or to change, do it because that's what you want to do. Don't try and hold on to things that have like run out, if that makes sense for you. Because of either like validation or feeling the need to have to stay and like see things through, because maybe, yeah, there's like allow yourself to change, allow your business to flow, allow it to, go where it needs to go. So I don't know if you've pivoted a lot or you've done a lot of different things, and maybe there's like like shame and guilt for maybe doing that, feeling like you haven't accomplished something and you're moving on to the next thing already. He's saying it's good. That's good. That's you following your gut, right? No matter what anyone says to you, if that makes sense. So that's just what's coming through.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because like this thing, like, you know what I mean, it's rattled a few cages, like, you know, because I've flipped the whole script on what I was up to, and but this has been it's been a 5-year intent for me to create this podcast. I launched in January. I don't know if you know, but I launched in January, and this would be like the 170th odd episode in 4 months. So like I've been just going ham, and but it's just for me making up for lost time. A year ago this week, actually, I was gonna kill myself. I walked outside. I got number one on the ranks on TikTok, and it's not because of TikTok. I wanted to get number one so bad. Like I got it in all the ranks, and I finally did it. I just wanted to get it, but I wanted to get it with in my own style. I didn't want to have to
Mhm.
belittle people to get it, whatever. I just, each to their own. But I want to do it my own way. Eventually, we cracked it. Well, after heaps of bans, 50 old account bans and so much stuff, which people could be like, oh, it's just a fake number. Yeah, I know, but like, just like a World Cup that the All Blacks lift, it's a fake made up shit too. It's just a made up game with made up rules, men chasing a ball on a field. It's all made up, right? We create things, but it's something that I wanted to do. So then achieving it with the fam that I started with, and like, to do that first, and I was grateful and still grateful. But there's a lot of stuff that I push to the side, and just eventually you push it to the side, and then it starts to fall in front of you, right, or pile on top of you. And then that was sort of the moment a year ago this week. If I can actually today, I think it was either today or I think it was. I don't know exactly the day, but I know it was the week after I got in top one in the weeklies, and then I was about to hang myself. Actually, I ripped it up, and then my baby woke up crying, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I better go, sort him out, put him back to sleep." And then when I grabbed him, I'm just pouring down with tears, pouring down, and then I sort of say there to myself, a lot of things in my life aren't where they should be. Like I need to sort of pivot, I need to move, I need to change. How do I do that? But like, and I'm not where I want to be, and I'm not doing what I want to do. Like what really fuels me, really moves me, and it was that moment a year ago today that I said, well, from now on, no matter what I do, whether I go live on TikTok, whether I talk to people, every day I'm going to do something daily to progress towards achieving what I want to achieve. And I want to launch this podcast, whether it's one, I was going to do multiple, it's ended up being one. And you know what I mean? I was going to do multiple. I was going to do a sports one, I was going to interview style one, I was going to do just like, yeah, all different kinds of podcasts. But like, there's just a big passion of myself. Like I was going to do it, and the fam and I were going to run it up. But I just made the decision then to launch in January, first week of Jan. It's like properly launch, like, or like, no matter what happens, that's the latest that I'm going to launch it, which I did. And from then till now, obviously we're still going. It's first 43 episodes of this podcast was actually with two other boys. Yeah, and then there's a sis Mills and I, we were gonna do ours too. And then like life got hectic for her, and yeah, I was also gonna do my own, just doing solo ones, just talking to myself and sharing my thoughts on things. But because the boys sort of left in there, they couldn't sort of commit. I just carried on with this and brought all my ideas onto this one thing. So anybody that watches or listens right now, if you do want to check out that episode, it's episode 44 is where the pivot happens. So for me, episode 44 is like where Mind the Mic became Mind the Mic, and then I started different shows and all these kind of other things with other people, and But 44 is big to me, so I even then set out to see if I can do 444 by the end of the year. I didn't even know there was like angel numbers or something. I didn't know nothing about that stuff. I just thought 44 is cool. Let me see if I can do 444 by the end of the year. Touch wood, we'll get there. We're at 170-ish now. Still a long way to go for the year, so. Yeah, but I just wanted to say, yeah, so I made a decision, daily depositing all the way to the end of the year. And then, I don't know, it does resonate a lot with what you said, because, yeah, it has been hard to, you're juggling people's, what they viewed you as before, or, you used to, like, people thinking you'll show up for me, like, you always, like, show up for everybody, and then, like, even calling, texting, like, I just even made a decision like recently, just like, I'm not gonna text you if you don't like, message me, like, and I'm the only one like keeping that relationship going. I ain't fucking like, I don't care. You know what I mean? And it's not like I don't love you. It's just like, like, why am I gonna put energy into something that's like it's not being reciprocated? Like, you know what I mean? So I made all those sort of pivots, and I'm a long way from where I want to be, but I want to take my people with me. Anybody, and that includes anyone that wants to come and open up doors. So, like, my mission here is to build the biggest podcast in the world. Sounds crazy, but if you're not shooting for the top, what are we up to? So, yeah. Thank you for being a part of that journey, sis. Anyway, back to you. This is your fucking podcast. Shit.
That was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. So, firstly, 444, if you didn't know, actually is an angel number that's all about stability. And so when we've seen a lot of fours, or we are attracted to fours, the number 4, it's all about stability, like within our life. It's like that earthy sort of grounded energy where we're trying to build stability, whether it's within ourselves or in our physical environment. So very interesting. It's actually quite a strong, powerful, it's I believe, I might be wrong, but I think it's a master number. So just in case you wanted to know.
Oi, what's that? What's that life path stuff? Like the number thing. One of the bros read something to me, and I was like a 22 life path or something. I don't know nothing about this stuff. Like, I'm open to hear
much about that.
Like, what the heck is that? I don't know.
I don't know much about astrology. I don't know much about any of that. I literally just use my abilities. I'm not very woo-woo. I'm not very I'm not the typical spiritual person. I just tend to just try and be myself. I'm more
whatever comes through, that's it.
Like, but I'm also very logical, like it's sort of like if you come to me and you say, I'm having this problem where, I really like this man and he's not reciprocating. What do I do? What do you mean? What do you do? You work on yourself, sis. You know what I mean? Bring your energy back. Work on yourself. Love yourself. A lot of the times we working on yourself and self-development is actually very simple. But the reason why it's hard is because we don't like ourselves. And we don't want to get to know ourselves. And so that is why I don't call it healing. I call it the journey to self. We are always on a journey to understand ourselves better, to love ourselves more, to put ourselves first, to have the ability and the awareness to step outside of ourselves and see our mind without judgment. And that's how I've always seen my journey, is it's a journey to get to know me and to look without judgment as to why all the things happened in my life and why did I make those decisions, and how can I break the cycle so that my babies don't grow up in violence and anger and poverty? I had a really bad anger problem for a very, very, very long time. Very repressed anger where I used to smash things and hurt myself. I used to have permanent scratches down the side of my face from when I used to scratch myself and just so angry. And it took so much patience and compassion and awareness to learn how to feel when that anger was starting to come on. So I had enough patience and I suppose awareness to actually learn how to transmute that. And when I got to that point, I was able to see things a lot clearer, and it allowed me to see other people's opinions and other people's point of views and things like that. So life can be fucking hard. Life can be really hard, and it's difficult when I think people who haven't maybe had the abuse and all that, they and I think if anyone's watched that Netflix series Baby Reindeer, I feel like they do a really good example of, in the show you see him with the stalker and you don't understand why he's giving the stalker so much time, because they don't actually uncover his backstory until episode 3 or 4. And so I think it's very similar for people who have been through a lot. They're doing all these fucked up, crazy things, and you don't know their backstory. You don't know what they've been through. So you're thinking that they're weird and crazy. And that's where their judgment comes, right? Because we're running around with our heads chopped off trying to fucking figure shit out. And the world's like, you're crazy, you're fucked up, until they find out you were abused, you were this, you were that. And then they cringe and they think, oh my God,
I feel so sorry for you.
Yeah, and that just makes you more angry, like, I'm a warrior, don't feel sorry for me,
Yeah, I'm
Um,
a survivor. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
but some of the most kindest, nurturing people I know are people who have been through quite a lot and have learnt to overcome it. So I'm really passionate about helping those type of people step into their power as healers and business owners and things like that. I've noticed that ever since I've started really putting myself out there, I've noticed a lot of Maori women, Pacifica Islander women are very much becoming a part of my my community and my tribe, and they're the majority of my clients. And it's been a different journey for me because I didn't grow up in that culture. So it's like I'm refinding myself or learning about a part of myself that I didn't get to learn about when I was younger.
100 for sure,
Yeah.
sis. For sure. Well, can you speak on some of your whatever your business? Do you want to talk about what you do there? What you're helping people
Yeah,
six figure, whatever? Do you want to talk about
yeah,
that
sure.
or?
So, I am currently working on a program called, so I've got 2 programs coming out this year. The first one is called Recoding Confidence, where it's going to help people rewire and reframe sort of the strand of confidence that they currently have within their nervous system or within their body. So it's using a lot of methods like mindset work, NLP, regulating their nervous system. Because basically what happens is when you're running a business, our limitations can actually stop us from taking action in the moment, because we feel that we need to heal to a certain level to take action. So you hear people say, "Oh, I'm gonna raise my prices in 6 months. I'm gonna do the thing next year. I'm gonna," but it's only because they're
Mm,
trying to become something that is worthy of taking action now. But when you're a business owner, you have to take action now to grow your business now, to make money now, to help people now. And so recoding confidence is about helping healers and coaches step into this energy of taking action now to grow their business. So it's very
ooh,
targeted. Because a lot of my confidence comes from fighting. A lot of my confidence comes from having to overcome a lot of things in my life. And I understand that not everyone has that background and that experience to pull on. But I'm sort of collapsing all that together in my business experience to help these ladies move forward. And then the second one that I'm releasing a little later next year is Spiritual CEO, which is basically a client attracting system. So I'm going to teach them how to actually create a system or a business that calls in their client, creates two transformation, which is one for the client and one for themselves, where they can actually start making more money. I think too many healers are they don't like talking about money. They don't like to, money isn't spiritual, and I call bullshit on that. Money is spiritual. Money in the hands of a healer is fucking medicine, because they will use it to empower others and help other people grow and expand their business, right? But a lot of people have limitations and fear around making money.
I think that's the psychology, like, because that people have, you know what I mean, like, and it's indoctrination just from the system, like, you know what I mean. The system doesn't even want you to talk about how to make money. The system just wants you to make money for them. You know what I mean? So
100%.
you're breaking through paradigms that are set by fucking these systems that are like, I mean, just the education system in general, right, is set up by the Rockefellers in the 1800s to make robots to work in factories. That's why the
Mhm.
Western system hasn't changed. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people who are, say, artsy or whatever, a lot of the time, or fall through the cracks, or a lot of entrepreneurs don't end up finishing high school, right? You're taught from a young age to sit down, shut up, line up, put your hand up if you want to speak. Ding! That's an assembly line bell, the same ones they
Mm.
used on the assembly lines in the 1800s. It's all programming, right? So,
Mhm.
I understand when you say people think, oh, no, that's but like, that's like you said, money in the hands of someone who, who has good intentions, if they, and also, maybe some financial literacy on top of that, can,
Yeah.
implement that in a way that, could make effects and make changes in the world. And I'm not saying that, like, anybody that goes to university or anything, that's what it is. Like, if you want to be a doctor, you want to be a nurse, you want to be, or that, like, hopefully the person that's cutting me open as a surgeon has done his, due diligence and study, and you know what I mean, all that kind of stuff. What I'm saying is, like, if education is only ever left up to the schools, and like you as a parent or as a guardian or whatever, or, don't even, like, ask how that's going, like, all they're gonna do is be brainwashed. I looked at studies about showing kids that start high school or start school 5 years old, primary school. 100% of them have the imagination to create their own Narnia, their own Harry Potter. You can just copy and paste whatever, you know land you want to put in there, fucking, Wonderland, whatever. By the time they finish high school, only 5% of the remaining kids that finish high school have that same imagination, because it's been culled out by the system. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
obviously there's a lot of variables if you have parents that keep you, you know what I mean, that also keep your mind, thinking of different things. You know what? Also too, I remember, like, fucking, I don't know if you got this, but when I was in school, I always, like, solve shit fast, man. I was really, like, I was quite a, like, onto it kid. But, like, when I was like, figure out a problem fast, even quicker than the teacher got it. Like, when, like, the way they went, and then you show them a different way, or you couldn't show them the working out. You just, nah, this is just how I came up with the number, because this and this, or this is how I solved this problem. Oh, it's wrong. Or if you come out with a different way, it's wrong. So yeah, you're also fighting against, like, all of that kind of stuff. Breaking, paradigms that are being shaped from 5 years old to, yeah. So I get you, but
Yeah,
yeah, all
and I
power to
get
you,
that,
sister.
like,
Love it.
I get that a lot. I get a lot of people where, I I get a lot of backlash for what I do and what I stand for, and I think I'm the perfect person to like stand up and go first, and be that person that charges their worth and talks about money and teaches other people how to do it, because I'm talk as much shit as you want about me. I don't care. I'm doing what I want to
Yeah,
do. I'm saying what I want to say, like, if
who
you're gonna
gives a
hate,
damn?
hate. Like, for me, whenever someone comes up to me and they start talking shit to me, that's just their own projection. When someone comes up to me and says, I think that you are too expensive, all I can hear is their own money story. That's not my story. That's your story. I'm too expensive to you. And I'm okay with that. And that can be a trigger for some people, but it just is what it is. Like, in order for your business to grow, right? People have all these big dreams. In order for your business to grow, you actually need to see money as like a partner to help you build, to help you grow.
Well, it's
And
a
that's
tool, eh?
why,
It's a tool.
yeah,
Money's a tool. Like
exactly.
people gotta realize money's a tool. Like just like a hammer. You can use a hammer to kill someone, or you can use it to build your house. You know what I mean? Just like a knife, you could plunge it into someone and take a life, or you can use it to chop up food for a small baby, or even kill a beast to feed your family. You can use it. There's so many. It's a tool. It's a tool, and now you use it, right?
100%. Because the thing is that money, so you hear the saying money doesn't, buy you happiness, and you hear all this type of stuff. Here's how I feel about money, because don't get me wrong, I'm not just making money to grow my business to help other people. Mate, I want to travel the world. I want that life, and I am going to like shy away from it. Like I
Mm.
want that life, and if you or any not you, not you, but like if people have an issue with
Hey!
me wanting that type of life, then that's fine.
Yeah,
So
but that's their own. That's their own bullshit if they don't. If they're hating on that, like if
exactly,
they're
like
hating
I'm
on
here
you,
to
like
help other people, but I'm
mm,
also here to help myself. And the thing
100.
is that money doesn't do bad. What money does is it gives you more options, and it's the options that you take is going to depend on whether you're doing bad with it or not. You know what I mean? Like you get given money, what you do with it is up to you. The more money you hold, the more options you have. But it's what you do, what you decide to do moving forward with that is going to decide whether or not. And at the end of the day, it's your life. That's why there's a difference between being abundant and being wealthy. They're not the same thing. You can be abundant and be poor. You can be
Yeah, of course.
wealthy and be a cunt. But there is nothing wrong with being abundant and wealthy. You can have both, and that's what I talk on, right? There is no
Mm.
shame in wanting to be wealthy. And,
No,
that's
no
why I
way.
try and talk to a lot of people where they try and heal their business forward. So they do a lot of healing work to try and break away from the limitations that hold them back. And I try and tell them, take your limitations with you. Like you can heal and like keep it moving, keep it pushing, you know. Wealthy's got nothing to do with being completely healed. Why do you think there's so many assholes out here that are millionaires? However, we want to be we want to be healthy, wealthy, and abundant. So it's about just keep it pushing, change that mindset every single day.
Yeah,
I wake up every single day without a doubt and I do my mindset work. I do my healing stuff, but every day I wake up and I tell myself it's safe for me to move forward even though I have self-sabotaging beliefs. It's safe for me to move
mm.
forward even though I'm scared of failing.
Just a
It's safe for
process every
me
day.
to move forward even though other people are going to judge me. I have
Ah,
to be
fuck
my
them.
cheerleader.
Fuck them. Fuck them sisters. Fucking hey, I like that process.
Yeah.
I'm similar, just day by day, cause like I got fucking long term huge goals, but just
Mm,
keeping it right here, right now in front of me is every day. Just wake up and get it, like every day. And then also, I like to fucking think about a year ago when I fucking when I was about to end it all, and I'm pouring down with tears, and I said I don't want to go back to that moment ever again. So that keeps looking back to while I keep going forward, and then as you progress daily, every day putting in daily deposits, like fucking every day, just fucking something towards the goal. You know what I mean?
100%.
And like to
Stack
be honest,
those
I've probably
wins.
done more. Just fucking something, fucking out the gate every day, most of the days. A big quote that I seen recently, and I fuck, bro, it's my screensaver, on my wallpaper, on my phones. It's very. We do a quote show. This is Maddie and I. We do this quote show every week, empathy and energy. She breaks down heaps of quotes, and we
Oh,
just talk about what we think that means to us, and then the audience do too, on here on the podcast. And do you want me to read you I'll read you the quote, eh?
yeah.
One. It goes, discipline means telling yourself every day that you have to give up instant gratification in order to achieve bigger rewards later on. I think that's a thing that, like, a lot of because especially if you don't have any, if you never ever grown up with money or something like that, a lot of the time we laughed about the lotto earlier. I think people want that instant gratification that, bro, one
Mm,
day I'm gonna win the lotto, but like you could win the lotto yourself if you just daily deposit into yourself into a direction that that can make that shit happen yourself without having to rely on luck. You know what I
mm,
mean? On fucking
mhm.
luck. Even if you like what 90% of all lotto winners end up broke within 5 years. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
like big lotto winners. So yeah, it's a
And
losing
also
game.
finding abundance in every day as well, right? So like having gratitude for where you are right now. You know, like if you're constantly chasing a certain lifestyle, or you're hoping that, oh, once I get here, I'm gonna feel good, but it's about finding it now, right? Sitting in it now.
Yes.
And that's where you've got to really, like, sometimes when, man, I can get in my head, still to this day, and I've got to remind myself, I'm like, Jenna, look around you. And I sometimes have to stop and like pick something up and just look at it, like actually look at it, you know, and look at like the things around me and pull myself into the present moment, and remind myself and get excited, like, fuck, I'm so lucky. Look around me, man. I used to fucking live under a bridge. Now look where I am. Look at my mental health. You know, look at what I'm doing. Look at my bank account. Like, fuck, how? I've got 2 beautiful kids. I'm so lucky. So really finding gratitude in the moment, you know, like, and just talking about business and stuff, like, I still get excited when, like, for every dollar that comes in, right? Every dollar, I'm like, thank you. Oh my God, more of that, please, universe. Yes, I get excited for it. And it just helps me stay grounded, I suppose, in my reality, and not constantly trying to chase something that just will always be out of reach. And it's what I did when I was fighting. I was always chasing the win. And so when I lost, it hurt bad. Right. Yeah. So
I
it's
mean,
about,
of course it's going. You know what I mean? Of course, you put all your time and effort and energy into the training, into believing. And then obviously, when you set the goal to win, like if you don't win, it's gonna hurt. But just like success, when you achieve whatever you want to achieve, that moment is temporary, just like a loss. Like eventually you can move on from a loss. Just like same as that, when you win, you win your championship or whatever it is. Bury the next day. What is it like? You crack it. It's the journey you got to enjoy, right? That's why you got to have that brick by brick mentality, that day by day, just being grateful. And like you said, if you got to pull yourself back, if it's looking at every dollar that comes in and that makes you happy, that's cool. It's funny too. People would laugh at that, right? But then they say, like, and as like laugh at that, oh, that's stupid. But then the same people would like, are buying lotto tickets every week and begging for that to come around. You know what I mean? Like, when you're actually out here grinding, getting it to come in yourself. So I think that's cool. Keep it up, sis.
yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah,
Shout out to
hard.
the. So how do people connect with you if they want to connect with you? Social medias, if they want to. Do you do like private, like people hit you up for a reading and all that kind of stuff? How does it work?
Yeah, so this is actually the last month where I'll be doing any sort of like private readings, just because I'm
Okay.
moving into, like working with other business owners. So I am on TikTok. You can find me there, and on
What's the at?
Instagram. But yeah, this is the last month for me to be doing any sort of psychic
Is that the
mediumship
at? Do they
work.
type in that? Do they type that at in, or like your name? Do they type your name
Yeah,
in, or
that's
accusing
it.
your name?
Jenna-Rae
Okay.
McWatters without the hyphenate. You'll be able to
Okay.
easily find me. But yeah, I'll be doing mediumship and psychic work for the next up until probably the 1st of June. And then I'll be closing that off, because that's just I suppose a part of my life that I've done, and I'm moving on now. But I'll still do readings and stuff like that on live. I love going live on TikTok, just because I don't know, I love my community and I love hanging out with them and laughing, and so I really enjoy it, connecting with people that way. But yes, that's how you'll be able to find me.
Cool. Sis. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we get out of here? I've got a couple of questions before we do go though.
I suppose for anyone that's listening, I honestly would just say, if no matter what you're doing in life, no matter what your goals are, always remember to be kind to yourself, right? You don't have to actually hyper hustle to get what you want. That is what the system wants us to do. They want us to grind, they want us to hustle, they want us to work hard to have 10 years of life of freedom, when we're too old to enjoy it. So
Well, work
do
hard
what
for
you love.
them.
Yeah, do what you
Yeah.
love, be kind to yourself, love yourself every single day. It's okay if you fuck up. It's okay if you've made mistakes. We all do. And one thing that I want to speak on just very quickly before we
Yep. Go
end
ahead.
is because I've got recoding confidence coming out. It's really important. I just want us this to sit with people is that confidence is not a personality trait. It is something that can be learnt. And the people that you probably think are very confident are probably very insecure because confidence is just moving from thought to action. And it's just about creating that mindset, that thought process within you that allows you to take action. So, mindset work, loving yourself every day, and just remembering that things can sometimes take time. Don't compare yourself to other people when you are grinding. Making sure that you're resting, looking after your health, and yeah, just above all else, just be good to yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. You don't know their story. You don't know where they're actually at. So that's all I want to say.
Yeah, hard. I like this. That's if you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, which meal do you choose and why?
Oh God, why you gotta do me like that?
Yeah,
Um,
only it has to be a real meal. You can't be like, I'll have KFC, and then I have a Big Mac. No, 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 no. Give me one meal. Yeah, actual dish.
mm, honestly, just because I can't think of anything else, I really love
Mm.
spaghetti bolognese.
Oh, your spaghetti or someone else's? Whose one do
No,
you want?
my spaghetti bolognese. I like I,
Oh,
I
what it?
like the way I cook. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna try that one day, sis. Me and brother Sam, we're gonna have some. Brother Sam, hey, let's go, let's go. What about superpower? Make one up or pick one.
Oh man, one I wish I could fly. I don't know why. I've always wanted to fly ever since I was little. So
Mm.
I'd love to be able to fly. I mean, I know I could choose some better ones, but I just think
Yeah,
flying would
fly
be
is it,
fun.
eh?
So that's it.
Yeah, 100%. And now you're coming to WA. If you ever go up to the Pilbara, you'll never wish you say that word fly again because oh my god, the worst flies in the world up there.
Oh
Guys,
no.
you walk outside, 30 on your face straight away. You whack it, 50 come back. Oh my god. Yeah, she's another level, cuz anybody that's worked or lived in the Pilbara, you know what it is. Cuz Northern WA, worst flies in the world, cuz straight up. But yeah, flying. I like it. Flying. Was there a superhero that you looked up to when you were a child, or you wish like, oh, I thought I could be this
Ah,
person?
far out. Um, honestly,
Mm.
no. I didn't actually look up to I didn't really watch superheroes. Maybe like Bruce Lee, is he considered a
Oh
superhero?
yeah,
I don't know.
Knife. Yeah, that'll do. Bruce Lee all day,
Yeah.
baby. Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, hard.
Nah,
Yeah,
solid. I
Bruce
like it. I
Lee.
like it. I like it. Visualization says 10 years from now. What's life like for Jenna-Rae McWatters?
So I probably will be a multimillionaire, traveling the world, probably
Nah,
work
not probably. You will be. Fuck
over.
that probably shit. We will
Yeah,
be. Will
yeah.
be. Yep.
I probably will
No,
gosh.
not probably.
So my goal is actually to be a millionaire by the time I'm 40. That's the current goal
Yes.
that I'm working towards. I'm 37
How
now,
many
so
years we got? Oh, we're on way street. Ah, we're on ways, baby. Let's go. Manifest the millie, baby. Let's
yeah, so
go.
I probably will have
Both of
that
you.
before I turn 40, based on where
Mm.
how my business is currently
Oh, mute. Mute. Oh, cheddar mute. Yeah. You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, how did that
Yeah.
happen?
I don't know. Okay. Based on how your business is performing.
Yeah, so the way my business is performing, I probably will reach that goal before I'm 40, but in 10 years' time, we'll probably be in Perth, or we will be in Perth, living a very simple life. I just want to travel. That's all I want to do. I want to travel and I want to relax. I want to
Travel
help
is
people
the best. Travel,
sit
sis. Yes.
in Bali and chill. I'm not here to hustle. I'm not here to grind. I'm here to live a slow life. I did enough of that shit when I was younger. It's time for me to rest. And so that's what I'd be doing. I'd be resting, sleeping,
Yeah.
and life, going to Paris, going to fucking wherever I want to go.
That's
Um,
it.
that's
100%.
and helping people and teaching people, it's so important to me that I'm teaching people always that they don't need to work hard, that you can have everything you want and help people from a place of flow and ease. So that's what I'll be doing. Honestly, I really love my life. And if I was still doing what I'm doing now in 10 years' time, I'd be happy. To me, I've already made it. Everything else that I work towards is just a bonus. I've already hit where I want to be. What else could I ask for? I'm healthy. I have a beautiful relationship. I have 2 beautiful children. You know, I have a beautiful house. I have money in my bank. I can travel. I do. Like, I've already gone overseas a few times. Like, this is my life. I'm already living it. I don't
Up
need
the
to,
travel.
you know. So whatever I achieve moving forward is just a bonus to me, and that's how I live, because I know what it's like to have nothing. So I appreciate
100%.
every day I wake up in my life as Jenna. I fucking love being me, bro. Like, I
Yeah,
love
Jenna.
being me.
Up the Jenna.
Um,
Yeah. Shout out to Jenna, man. Oh, I just want to say, time's the most valuable commodity we have as human beings. The one thing we can never get back. We can always get back money. We can always get back things,
mhm,
but time spent is time lost. So thank you for sharing, an hour and a half of your time with me and everybody that listens to this for years to come on every platform. I hope people take value from this, and I'm sure they will. And I hope they keep following you along on your journey. And this won't be the last time we sit down. I feel. Thank you for the experience. Whether that was my koro or not, I don't know, but it was it seemed very similar. Shout out to the koro. Shout out to the bro. And yeah, shout out to all the things you've had to endure and overcome to be where you are today. And keep going, keep pushing forward, keep manifesting that millie and all the things you want to do. Travel, I think, is one of the most beautiful things you can do. One of my
mm,
best experiences. I think travel really broadens the mind. I've been
mm.
fortunate enough to travel quite a lot myself as well. I agree, man. Go get it, sis. Keep being a blessing, man. Big love.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes, so to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning. Have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.